I'm Bob Savakinus. Welcome to our program in a nutshell. Today our special guest is Chris DiMatteo. Chris is one of our local community leaders involved in many activities, supports many organizations, but he's probably most famous for La Festa Italiana. I also know he does a little Frank Sinatra music for us. He's also very involved in different community organizations. So I just want to welcome Chris DiMatteo, our special guest today, to our program. Chris, thank you for being with us.
Bob, how are you? Great to be here again. Thanks.
Good to be with you as well. So let's get right into it. La Festa Italiana is going to be starting very soon. You had a year off last year, which maybe your committee, your volunteers and everything had a chance to recover and everything. Yeah. So a little rest, but now you're at it full strength this year. Tell us about what we could expect with La Festa.
Just back better than ever, we hope, and filled with live entertainment on a couple of stages, terrific vendors, mostly food vendors and some arts and crafts, and again, just fun for the entire family. Come down and enjoy La Festa.
Okay, let's kind of go through the details a little bit.
Sure.
Tell us, when does it open up? When does it close? What the hours are, basically, just so our audience knows what to expect.
So since 1981, we've been operating on Labor Day weekend, and now this year is First Friday. So September is the next Friday will be First Friday in Scranton, and that's when we open La Festa. So it opens at 4 p.m. And it stays open until 10 p.m. On Friday. Saturday, Sunday, we're open from 11 a.m. till 10 p.m. We've got great fireworks sponsored by our friends from Dixon City Hyundai and Kia, Performance Kia, and that'll be a Sunday evening at 10 p.m. And then Monday, we also open at 11 a.m., but we close a little early. We close around 7 p.m. We finish with the great band Pop Star Drive. We open, though, I should say, with our gala entertainment is the Bronx Wanderers. So Paul LaBelle and the Exact Change and the Electric City Electric City steel drum, which has been featured on ECTV many times. They're also performing Friday night, but the main act for the entire weekend is the Bronx Wanderers. Now, anyone who's watching there will remember the Bronx Wanderers very well. Great show band from New York. However, they were so good that they got a gig like every night in Las Vegas at Caesars. So with COVID, that kind of ended, at least hopefully just temporary for them. So we were able to book them for our Friday night performance. And of course the cameos we still have over the weekend, the Longo Brothers, we've got Frankie Gervasi, we have Daddy O and the Sax Maniacs, Nicole Rasmus, we've got Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra. Well, just a lot of entertainment, old friends, and Mike Lanza and Michael Castaldo, who's a terrific Italian tenor. All of this can be found, of course, on our website, lafestaitaliana.org. Too many bands and for me to mention at this point, but a lot of entertainment on 2 stages for the entire weekend. Free. Yeah.
I assume that it's free because of a good amount of support from our city of Scranton, from our county commissioners, and of course from all the sponsors that come out there and support it, that you go out and recruit in your committee and things like that.
Yeah, we were happy to get a call this year from Lehigh Valley Health Network, who is our presenting sponsor this year. Also some major on the major entertainment side from Alfredo's restaurant in Southside. Those financial contributions make this happen, as well as a lot of different sponsors that, again, are on the website, and they'll be promoted quite a bit over the weekend. But most people think that La Festa makes money. We don't. as a venue, we're no different than the cultural center. If you're going in to see a show, we're only getting a small portion, I should say, from the vendor revenue, and that covers maybe 75% of our expenses. We have to sell cappuccino, and we have to sell souvenirs and novelties and things like that. We have to sell some raffle tickets, and then we get some donations, and hopefully at the end of the weekend, we break even. But this year, there's so much more expenses with COVID-related, more hand sanitation stations, more different sized tents spreading out. Electrical is expensive. The entertainment costs, more security, more refuse. So all these expenses really do add up. So from a La Festa Italiana point of view, we don't really earn any funds. If we do have a couple of dollars left over at the end of the year, we donate it to charity, St. Joe's, Allied Services, St. Francis Kitchen, and organizations like that help children out or help those in need. And we pride ourselves on that, especially causes when it comes to veterans, especially veterans in Northeastern Pennsylvania. We try to financially help out as best we can.
Well, I just know, again, your track record, Chris. I mean, you've been involved in so many community organizations, always volunteering, helping out, raising funds for different groups that need that and everything. So, I look at La Festa and we see this major attraction that draws people nationally to come to our city of Scranton and everything. You rely on, I'm assuming, a good core group of volunteers.
Good core, yeah. And most have been with us for better than 20 years. I'm president, I think this year, 30 years. And several of them have been involved for just as long. And we have some newcomers as well. It's tough to ask individuals to volunteer their time. It's even really tough to ask them to volunteer their time on Labor Day weekend. That's the weekend that we're all supposed to have, the last blast of summer. Right. So when you're presenting the last blast of summer in Northeastern Pennsylvania, when you have people coming from Maryland and West Virginia and Connecticut and New York, New Jersey and Ohio, those are our key states that come visit La Festa every year. You need volunteers, So I'm grateful to our small niche group of volunteers who come out every year, and they're, it's just an extended family. Who is handling finance, who's handling raffle tickets, who's doing the souvenirs, who's doing the cappuccino, who's organizing the mass, because we pride ourselves on keeping our ethnicity and having a traditional Italian a mass that's spoken mostly in Italian. There's a lot of English as well, but Father Dave Capelloni from St. Anthony's and St. Rocco's in Dunmore organizes that, and that's always Sunday morning at 10 a.m. at St. Peter's Cathedral, and that's kind of part of our tradition as well. But again, so many volunteers go into that: the choir, the singers, and so forth. It's a big labor of love, let's say.
So we have great entertainment. We have a mass for those who want to participate. We're celebrating Italian heritage. And then I know a major part of this is maybe food.
Maybe food. Let me see. I don't know. You like cannolis. I like.
Tell us a little bit about the food situation. Your vendors.
Well, what's great about it, and we will have. I'll tell the viewers, we will have a few less vendors this year. A few people just haven't been able to get the help. Anybody who's been at a restaurant or been at any store in the last several months knows that the quantity of people that are working there and handling the line is down. But we have our core groups, and I should say that all of our vendors are family-owned restaurants or family-owned businesses in this area. We have one out-of-state vendor, and that's the Scala family from New York. They come in every year with their baked goods, but other than that, it's all local vendors. Some of which have restaurants. Some just literally are cooking in their kitchen. They're cooking in their kitchen till 4 a.m. They're making gnocchis or baking pepper cookies or whatever. This area, as with a lot of the other ethnicities in this area, Italy though is still very much regionalized. Don't get in trouble with the Calabrese and the Neapolitan, or God forbid the Sicilian. But every one of them has a different cuisine as well. So who makes a cookie or who makes their dough different from the other? So that is very much present at La Festa Italiana. So there are different, bakeries. There's different pizzas. There's different pastas, different sauces. All different types of recipes.
Who's next? Can I help you?
One slice of eggplant farm pizza.
Sure.
Can we have it cut in half?
And so we're happy that most are still on board. We didn't think we were going to have this, quite frankly. And local news and we're fortunate that, as I was told by the county commissioners most of the individuals we're lucky in this community have been vaccinated. But our vendors, many of the vendors will be wearing masks. Certainly, they'll have gloves. There'll be hand sanitizers and stations all over the place. We want our patrons to feel comfortable. So I tell our vendors, look, if the more that your stand looks like it's following, guidelines, and I should say our health department in the city of Scranton and licensing and so forth, they're at the square the entire weekend. They're making sure that everything is properly being handled or prepared, as well as the police department, the fire department, the local sheriffs. We have a wonderful relationship with both the city and the county, and if we didn't, this event wouldn't happen. And we encourage other organizations like we were Jazz Festival or African American Festival. I mean, Arts Festival. We'd love for more festivals to be, in the downtown area, utilizing Courthouse Square. Courthouse Square is as you well know, is a great venue. It's kind of like a piazza in Europe. It's got 4 squares, 4 blocks that people could, take a nice stroll through, or go from one block to another and run into people and have a nice conversation or friendly chat about whatever. It's a beautiful building. It's a beautiful square.
And there's, of course, the statues that celebrate the different ethnicities of our area, and as we always celebrate our heritage of all the different community groups, the different nationalities, ethnic groups, things like that.
We're very proud of the Columbus statue. One of the first, actually might be the second oldest in this country. Built by the hands of by the hands and the dollars of local Italian community leaders back in the 1890, 1892, somewhere around there.
Just going back a little bit to talk about it, the different fairs and events that we do and everything, just looking at La Festa, and people may not take a look at it from this aspect other than enjoying the food and the music and everything, but what an economic driver it is for Lackawanna County. I mean, you're looking at as a tourist attraction that's going to fill up hotels, tourists spending money at restaurants, at stores, just buying things, and of course at the event itself. So I mean, you have to be very proud about that fact of what the dollars it does bring into our city and our county.
We're proud, and I'm proud also of our committee and how we've kind of kept our core values, and we pride ourselves on being a family festival, so that's number one. So I've gone to a number of Italian festivals throughout this country, and all of which, you pay a price to get into it. There's alcohol, there's cigar smoking, there's all ways for their committees to make money. We don't do that. There's enough area bars and restaurants surrounding the courthouse square, and they're all, I don't want to mention anybody's name, but they're all good. And we want to bring the people in, so we're closed down at 10 o'clock. Let people go over and have a glass of wine or a cold beer or whatever. Right. Maybe during the day they could walk over and have that. So we pride ourselves on still being a family-oriented festival in downtown Scranton. That's number one. Number two is, I think the fact that we have that tradition and that reputation, people do flock here every year. And when you think about it, we want people to come to Scranton. And when they come to Scranton, the first thing they see is, of course, the Electric City sign. That's all lit up, and then, Sunday night there's fireworks going on around it. How many people from the University of Scranton, Marywood, Lackawanna, the surrounding colleges and universities, the first thing they talk about, hey, meet at La Festa, meet at La Festa. We're known for that. So parents, even though the kids are already in school, parents will use that weekend as a reunion. They'll come in and see the kids. Families use that as a reunion. Schools, high schools, colleges, they use that weekend as a reunion. So they might have a little dinner on themselves or a little event, and then they come down and they gather at La Festa. They talked about the economic part of it, and they've been all different types of studies, and I'm not the person to talk about that, but I know it does have an impact. You and I are both rail fans, so we used to have, Steamtown used to have Rail Fest, and we worked with Rail Fest for many years, and they had Rail Fest on Labor Day weekend. Now they've since changed that, But still, people come to downtown Scranton, they'll get to Steamtown, they'll come over, have dinner with us, and then maybe the next day they'll visit Steamtown again, or the Trolley Museum, or if there's a baseball game heading up at the mountain, with the our local Bronx Bombers, maybe in the playoffs or in the playoff hunt, they're catching a ball game. There's so much to do that Labor Day weekend in downtown Scranton, and so for people who are from out of town, they're catching a city that is really vibrant that weekend. So hopefully, when they have a special event, an anniversary, a birthday, whatever, they'll think about coming to downtown Scranton and spending it, or maybe considering living there. It's very difficult to get an apartment in downtown Scranton. I mean, even just a couple of years ago, there weren't as many apartment buildings and apartment housing as there is now, and it's beautiful. There's some great lofts, great places to live in downtown Scranton, as well as a business, So we've got new businesses coming into the Lackawanna County. So hopefully we get one person, that wants to make that investment, and they had a great experience at La Festa, and hopefully that could trigger that individual to making a decision that could change the lives of this community.
So it sounds like, just what you described, it's even more safety and more friendly than ever this year, just because obviously it's an outdoor event. So people are outside, which makes it a lot easier to kind of social distance. You said a few less vendors, so it shouldn't be as
Crowded?
crowded, right.
Yeah, on the vendor side, we're trying to spread that out as best we can. And we're putting out as many picnic tables and chairs. We're not going to have the kiddie rides that we normally have, because we're going to use that space to put picnic tables and so forth. Again, spread the people out as best we can. And we're working with Mark Dewar, and who's the Buildings and Grounds Director for Lackawanna County. We working with Tom Priambo from the City of Scranton, and we have everything kind of in place. In fact, actually, we'll be handing out via Lehigh Health Network, as well as Lackawanna County, be handing out free hand sanitizers, masks. We'll be giving vaccines to individuals, both the Pfizer one and I believe the Johnson & Johnson, on Sunday afternoon from like 2 to 8. If you haven't been vaccinated yet, you can have a slice of pizza in one hand and roll up your sleeve with the other. What can I say? But
You're
but
covering
that'll
all
be,
aspects. All aspects are being
yeah.
covered.
So that'll be covered. That'll be covered.
So let's take a look a little bit behind the scenes. We know what's going to happen when it's going on and people having a good time and all that, enjoying the food, the music, and all the things that are happening, but there's a lot of work getting ready for it. So let's kind of talk a little bit about that. Let's fill in the audience about how much work goes into making an event like La Festa happen.
So in this filming time right now, we're about a week or so away from La Festa. So I don't know how red my face is right now, or how much my hair is standing up on end, but I can tell you it's a lot grayer and maybe even more white. But again, a lot of volunteers, a lot of groups come into play. This year's been extremely challenging. Whatever could have gone wrong has gone wrong, but we got through it, and actually we've had some more opportunities. We're trying to work smarter and put our heads together and be able to, put on this venue as best we can. But it's all year round. But just so people understand what actually happens, our tent vendors, and we have a couple this year, they'll be starting to arrange the tents the weekend before Labor Day. We'll put the tents out on the street on Tuesday, Tuesday before Labor Day. Wednesday, about 90 electricians from the local 81 International Brotherhood and Women of Electrical Union number 81, the IBEW, they come in and basically plug everything in and illuminate the square. That's on Wednesday. Thursday, our vendors come and set up, and Friday we open. So, we try to keep a lane of traffic open during that week of setup. During the weekend, it's closed unless, you have to get to an appointment, or you have to get to the drugstore, or you live downtown. We have our security team will let you through. But that's a lot of work. And then, of course, Monday evening, when the lights go off at the band shuts down at 8 p.m., we're already taking things down and getting things prepared, because anyone who comes to the festival knows how much is up there. But all of that has to come down on Monday evening, and there's handful of volunteers that make sure that happens. And we get in the wee hours of the morning on Tuesday, put everything away, and so then they could take the tents down and clean the streets. But it's a big event. I mean, when you have, about 100,000 people that are coming from all areas to come into the downtown, we just ask for people to be a little patient. No different than any other event that happens in downtown Scranton. When you have a lot of people, you could tend to make a mess. We'll get it cleaned. We'll get everything all straightened out by the next event.
So you mentioned vendors. About how many vendors do you have, and kind of a little bit of an overview of what kind of foods we can expect, although most of us probably have a good idea, but give us a little overview.
Yeah, typical 70 to 80 vendors this year, 60 to 70 vendors, and really all specializing in all types of pastas.
Tell us some of these delicious foods so our viewers will be anticipating this more than ever.
My favorite is gnocchis and stuffed rigatoni and different types of spaghetti. I don't eat a lot that weekend, but I will tell you that I'll have all types of gelato and all types of ice cream, different types of baked goods.
Cannolis I'll look forward to.
Yeah, I'm not a big cannoli fan,
I look
Bob,
forward
but
to them,
I do like a certain creamed. I love biscotti and so, but and all different varieties of pizza. So you have your traditional round tray of pizza, like a Neapolitan tray, but we're very famous for Old Forge style pizza, thick pizza here, and again, all those businesses are here selling those. But pasta fazool and pizza frita, sausage and peppers, and but there's going to be there's a Chinese food vendor.
Okay.
There's a Greek gyro vendor. There's Mediterranean, Lebanese food as well. There's popcorn fantasy, and there's
Something for everyone.
Yeah,
almost.
something for everybody. Yeah, I'm trying to think anything that's fried. The Montana folks have some great appetizing carnival type foods that the kids would like, and adults for that matter as well as some arts and crafts as well. We try to focus on some vendors coming in with arts of the community. So whether it be pen and ink or watercolors or some type of a print that maybe they could get at the mall or get at a museum. They could get all of that in downtown Scranton as well that weekend. So we try to one stop walk around the square and purchase whatever you need. Maybe get some Christmas gifts, things like that. Yeah.
So we talked about the good food and everything. So let's go back to entertainment a little bit. Will you have any jugglers, different artists, performers, things like that?
Rob Smith, Damien the Magician, and then so we've always had jugglers who young and old. It's amazing, what some of these jugglers could do, and I always wonder if the knives, are they really sharp, when they're throwing them up there, or the fireballs and so forth. But yeah, we pride ourselves on having some street entertainers as well. We won't have as many because, we want to spread it out.
Right.
This year we don't want, someone walking around the corner, there's somebody singing in your ear or something. So most of the entertainment will be on the two stages or in front of it this year. But a variety, and it's just basically nonstop entertainment from noon till 10 p.m. every day on two stages.
Okay. So I'm going to continue with that entertainment theme and talk a little bit about a very famous actor and singer by the name of Frank Sinatra. Now, I understand you do a little Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what got you into wanting to do that, and will we be able to see you perform Frank Sinatra, and tell us when and all that.
My good friend Bill Weber, who is led the bands at Marywood University. We had summer concert series for years on the campus of Marywood University. And when Frank Sinatra died several years ago, we would always do New York. We always did a couple of Sinatra tunes. But when he passed on, we said, let's dedicate a concert. So he asked me to do the singing, and of course he had a wonderful big band. He wrote some of the arrangements. Some of the arrangements we had. Gene Dempsey, of course, is at La Festa too. He had some great arrangements. So we just started doing it, and God gives everybody gifts, and whether you like my voice or not, it is what it is. And we try to do our best at performing as Frank would do it. We pride ourselves on and I'm putting on a show that Frank would have a concert. And then my pal is none other than Dean Martin.
Well, that makes a perfect combination.
Otherwise known as Andy Domino. Andy is from Las Vegas and is one of the best, if not the best, Dean Martin impersonator in this country. So we do a little Dean and Frank show, and then once in a while we have Nicky Rasmus, who sings better than Connie Francis ever would have sung, also with the big band. So we try to keep, people love that kind of music. I love that kind of music, and we get great crowds for it. People who want to come down, we do have bleachers, but most people bring their, chairs, their little lounge chairs down, and we'll get there at 7 in the morning, and there'll be a few chairs already in front of the main stage, getting ready to hear the entertainment.
Let's take a look at Chris DiMatteo as a community-involved person, just for a few moments. I mean, we talked a lot about La Festa. I'm talking about specifically like the sign, the Electric City sign in downtown Scranton. I believe you and one of your organizations was a part of helping get that restored, and talk a little, if we can.
Well, it was basically, I believe, I don't know all the details about that, but if it goes back some time, I think Scranton Tomorrow was very much involved under Mayor Doherty's administration, and PPL was also involved. They raised quite a bit of money to get that sign back up. That was done many years ago, I should say, and we were a part of that financially. Then a few years ago, my good friend Kevin McDonough from Mac Signs and the administration at the time said, hey, you know what, it's time to up the sign a little bit, get the LED lights in there. So together with Kevin McDonough, Mac Signs, and the IBEW, we financed that. We put that all together. So the sign looks brighter and better, than ever, and really, it's amazing. And what Kevin did from Mac Signs, he was able to get, I think, from the Lackawanna Historical Society, they were able to get the original colors and the original plans of it. So he restored it exactly the way it looked like, whatever.
It's certainly a
100 years ago. I don't know how long ago it was, but it's people know Scranton by that sign.
It's a beacon to welcome citizens to the Electric City of Scranton and everything. Yeah. Unico, you're also involved in Unico in the past and everything. So.
Yeah, Unico Scranton chapter, and there's other chapters in the area as well. Wilkes-Barre, Carbondale, Keystone, Binghamton, Rosetto. There's a number of Unico chapters. Unico is the largest Italian-American service organization in the country, so it's no different than Lions and Kiwanis and Rotary. But being Italian-Americans, we do the community service, but we eat during those as well. No, but we also pride ourselves on keeping the Italian-American traditions alive and well, because a lot of people today, especially the young people, they don't know what their heritage is. So we're all Americans, but we also want to pride ourselves on, why did our parents and grandparents and great-grandparents come to Northeastern Pennsylvania? Why did they come to the United States of America? Obviously to find a better world. The Italian-Americans left their mark on so many different areas, whether it be, craftsmanship or arts or music or business or politics. They've had a little bit to do sports. They've had a little bit to do with all of that. And it's good that, organizations like Unico, keep those traditions for generations to come. So, and the Scranton chapter, of course, is the largest chapter in the country. They will be down Labor Day weekend selling their porchetta sandwiches. That's all they do. They serve, they get help from the Pasqualicchio brothers and the National Bakery, and they put this sandwich together, and all of the money that they raise from those sales goes to local charities. In fact, several years ago, we were we were the lead charity to help build the St. Francis Commons, which is a home for homeless veterans that are getting back on their feet. So very proud of that. Very proud of Unico and all they do in this great land.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you, Chris DiMatteo, for being a guest with us today. telling us a little bit about what we could expect with La Festa. Delicious food, great entertainment. I know I definitely want to get down there for the food and to see that Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin combination.
Sunday night, 6
Sunday
o'clock.
night. We want to make sure we get
6
to that.
o'clock, yeah.
Obviously, we'll ask our viewers, check out the website and find out all the details. But again, enjoy the food, enjoy the entertainment, and everything that has to offer. But thank you, Chris, for all that you do in our community by volunteering, raising funds for different charities, organizations, and everything. You're a great community leader, so thank you for being with us today and all the things that you do.
Kudos to you, Bob, and all you do. Thank you.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Chris. I'm Bob Savakinus. Thank you for tuning into our program in a nutshell.